let's go ahead and get started here. My party people who have been here and partied with me before on the ASVAB, what's the first step in every single word problem? Every single one. Yeah, read the question first. Read the question first. So for every question that we do, if you're here for the first time, go ahead and shout yourself out, by the way, in the chat box. But if you're here for the first time, I want to make sure that you're having a good time. Now, to have a good time with word problems, we have to follow a strategy that's going to allow us to eventually get it right. And even if we get it wrong, learn why we got it wrong. So when we go through, welcome in my party people, Nika, DeMarco, Bree, Didia, Fantasia, Aurelia, Jack, right on. So Patricia, Selena, welcome in. So the first step that you want to take right here, again, number one is, what do you want? First of all, here's the thing. When you think about word problems, a lot of us think about word problems as very similar to vomit. We don't want to be around it. We hate it. I want to get through with it as quickly as possible. So here's the thing. To get through it as quickly as possible, let's figure out what it's going to take to get through it. And that's why we want to figure out what we want. What is the question sentence telling us to find? Once we know that, then we can jump straight to the information. It's like saying, hey, here's a slip of paper, find the red ball. And you look in the whole room, you got green, red, yellow, orange. But since you have that note for red, all you care about is red. Makes life so much easier. You go in, you grab it, and you leave. So let's think about it in the same lens, in the same capacity as here. It's a little more complicated for the only reason being that there's a ton of keywords. But it's the same concept. Let's figure out what we want first. Then let's get the information. Then let's use that information to build a connection between what we have and what we're trying to find. Yes or no, everybody? Does that make sense before I proceed? Does that make sense before I proceed? And before we continue, one of the main frustrations that so many people have with the ASVAB is not knowing what to study and how to study to begin with. So if you're one of those people that can do a good job if everything's lined up for you, then go ahead and join our program. We have all the classes, all the recordings, all the courses with practice questions, with videos, and you can text me all the way up until you pass. So that's how it works. It's very simple, straightforward, and it gets you to the score and the job you want. Check out the link in the description of this video to learn more and sign up now. iPhone, I gotcha. All right, sounds good. So let's go ahead and get after it, my party people. Here we go. So the first thing we do is, again, read that question sentence, and it's going to say, how many females are there if there are 11 males present? Sounds good. So let's write that down right away. I want blank females. And it says right here, if. Now, here's a nice tip. If you want to write this down, please do. Anytime the question sentence has the word if in it, they're basically telling you that the information you're trying to find is connected to whatever if is. So here it says if 11 males are present and we're looking for females, they're basically telling you flat out, yo, the number of females that you're looking for, it's connected directly to having 11 males. If we have 11 males, then we'll have whatever many females this is going to be. Yes or no? Does that make sense? The word if tells you connected information. Perfect. All right, sounds good. It's good participation today, guys. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. We're going to be doing great today. So now that we know that, again, the word if, it reveals connected information to what you're trying to find. It's in the same sentence, and the word if is there, right on. Now, let's go ahead and go through the given information. Step one, what do we want? Number of females. What do we have? What information do we have? Well, we know that there are also 11 males with this number of females. And in the first sentence, it says, hey, at this local YMCA, there are 6 males for every 60 females. So I'll go ahead and write that down. 6 males, 60 females. Again, for every 60 females, that's also connected. Can anybody here tell me what topic we're dealing with? Who knows already? Who thought that it was pretty obvious to them? Right on. Yes, this is absolutely considered a proportion word problem. Now, can anybody here enlighten us? Take us to math church. What's the main idea when it comes to proportions? Thank you, Landa. You probably already had that typed out. I appreciate you. Sometimes you might want to go outside and take a walk because you are killing it. So, compare the same things in the same way. Let's go ahead and write this down. This is Unit 2 in Arithmetic Reasoning. Let's write this down. Compare the same things. I love you, Landa. Compare the same things in the same way. So, proportion, word problems. All right, cool. So the main idea, like I said, behind proportions is, again, compare the same things in the same way. As long as you do that, you can do no harm. Let me zoom in over here. Compare the same things in the same way. I'll give you a few moments to write this down. That way we can relax. We can take our time, because anytime I actually have you pause and physically write something down, it's really, really important. So again, when it comes to proportions, this is Unit 2 in your Arithmetic Reasoning course for those of you in the program. And again, the main idea behind them is, again, compare the same things in the same way. Even if you don't know what that means yet, write that down, because I'm sure that you'll be able to understand that versus any formula or math definition that I could give you. I'm going to explain this in a moment. Few more seconds here. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Cool. Again, compare the same things in the same way. So let's go ahead and talk here, my party people. Are we comparing the same things, everybody? On one hand, in here in red it says females, males. On the other hand, over here it says males, females. So listen to me carefully. Are we comparing the same things? I'm not asking if we're comparing them in the same way yet. I'm asking if the same things are being compared. Are the same things being compared? Males and females? Yeah, the answer here is going to be yes. It is yes. We have males and females at the top, males and females at the bottom. However, the order matters in proportions. Let me go ahead and make sure I highlight this here. In the same way. In the same way. So what I'm saying here is that up top, all the way up here, if we start off with females and then we say males, well, guess what? We have to do the same thing. Females, then males. If we don't compare it in the same way, you're not going to get the correct answer. This is why proportions are considered very easy, but also considered very tricky, because the numbers and the calculations can feel easy, but if you don't have the right setup, the answer is automatically wrong. So we don't want that. We want to be correct on the first time through. So again, let's write that down. If you haven't done so already, compare the same things in the same way. I'm going to say that females is F, and this is all you got to do, everybody. This is all you got to do. All you have to do is just swap this out. Swap this out. I'll put females first, then males second, and males second. Everybody, before I continue, even if we're having a little bit of trouble with proportions, are you starting to see what I'm saying when I say compare the same things? Here in this problem, the subjects are females and males, and we're comparing them in the same way. Females first, males second. Are we seeing where I'm coming from there? Good. I'm going to ask you one more time, because it could be possible, and I'm just saying it could be possible. I don't know about this. I didn't make these class slides or anything. I didn't make every single one of these questions. So I'm going to repeat myself just in case the next problem is exactly this. Again, we are going to make sure that we are comparing the same things in the same way. If we're doing that, you have a valid proportion and you're good to solve it. If not, rethink what you're doing. Here we go. Here we go. And Fredemir, you can actually go males first or females first. All you have to do is be consistent. If females is first, then they're first for both. If you want to say males is first, males for both. It doesn't matter. Actually, it doesn't matter as long as you are consistent. That's what matters. So now that we're here, let's set this up. We have F and 11 right there. So what I'm going to do is I'll put F on top, 11 on bottom. And then on the right side, we're going to be consistent. If we went on top and on bottom, or numerator, denominator, we'll do the same thing over here. Numerator over denominator, just like that. Everybody, do we understand the setup here? Females up top, males on bottom, females up top, males on bottom. Compare the same things in the same way. Great. Now, to solve this question, let's zoom in. Everyone, what's that really popular way that we were taught to solve proportions in school? It's a two-step process. What is it again? Tariq, yeah, cross multiply and then do what typically? Yeah, we cross multiply and then typically divide. That's typically how we've been taught in the past. But I'm here to tell you that, again, there are always more than one way to do math. So we could go ahead and cross multiply and divide, could, allegedly. And we could do f times 6 to get 6f. Then we could do 11 times 60. Does anybody here want to do 11 times 60? No, I don't really want to do it, right? I don't really feel like doing it. But the answer is going to be 660. So when we do it, the answer will be 660. But again, that's after going ahead and just saying, 11 times 60, and you do all that work, you'll get, again, 660. But now that we're here, everybody, we're going to divide both sides by what? We're going to divide both sides by what? We're going to divide by 6. And let's, again, always talk about the reasons why. Why are we dividing by 6? Remember, we're trying to get that f, the number of females, by itself so we can figure out what that number is. So we're here, and we see that we have a 6 and the f together. To get rid of the 6, you see that it's being multiplied. And so to solve an equation, as always, we want to work backwards. We see 6 times f. We'll divide both sides by 6. Nice and easy. That's going to cancel out. And then we have 660 divided by 6. That's going to give us what, everybody? Right. And that's going to give us 110. And that is our answer. But I'm not going to move on yet. I'm going to show you a different way to do this question. But I'm going to first reveal the answer. It's D, 110. So for anybody here who got this question wrong, I'm speaking to those, again, who got this one wrong. Are you feeling any bit more confident about why you got it wrong? That's really the big question. Are you understanding the mistakes that you're making? Right on. I got a couple folks messaging me privately as well. Cool. Good, good, good. Now again, just repeat after me. You don't have to write it down again because you already wrote it down, or you already wrote it down, but make sure to say it out loud. Compare the same things in the same way. Compare the same things in the same way. When you set up proportions, that's how you want to set them up. I'm serious. It's going to take you through those ridiculously looking questions, the ones that look easy but are actually hard, the ones that are hard that are actually easy. It takes care of every single proportion question known to man. So, with that said, let me show you a faster way. Once you get to the actual setup, there's a much faster way to do it. Again, you guys have always been taught, hey, we're going to cross, multiply, and divide, but sometimes that's going to take a little bit of time. As you can see here, if I would have just had a different set of numbers, if I would have maybe had 32 here, maybe if I would have had 67 here, would this have been fun to do? If we had those numbers, would this have been fun to do? No. No. I probably would have made some excuse. I would have said, hey, my dog is, my dog is late on his taxes. I got to help him out. I'll be back. I probably would have made some excuse. I don't want to do that. So let's always look for opportunities to have an easier time whenever we can. And here's what I mean here. Let me go ahead and just back up out of here. Let me go ahead and put the original numbers back. So let me show you this. Everybody, when it comes to proportions, they're just comparisons. And here's a neat way to look at the comparison. I'm going to take a look at this right here. Let me erase this. And let me just take a look at it as just a comparison. Everybody, if I'm comparing from the bottom to the top, that's a comparison. Everyone, with multiplication or division, and give me the number, but with only multiplication or division, because that's how the comparison works. How do I go from 6 up to 60? What do I do to 6 to get to 60? What operation and what number? Give me the operation and the number. So we all know this. I see that here. It's flooding into the chat box right now. We all know that if we go 6 times 10, we'll get to 60. Okay, cool. And guess what, everybody? When you compare the same things in the same way, you have yourself a proportion. So since we did set up the proportion, just like we knew we were supposed to, if we go bottom to top times 10, guess what? Bottom to top times 10, there's your answer. Everyone, what's 11 times 10? 110. And there you go. That's just one other way to do this problem. You can do the same thing horizontally, left to right, right to left, as long as you're comparing it in the same way. I can't go bottom to top times 10, but then go top to bottom times 10? No. If I go bottom to top, it's bottom to top. If I go left to right, it's left to right. If I go right to left, it's right to left. Are you guys starting to see what I'm saying there when it comes to taking this little shortcut here? Cool. Sounds good. Because honestly, there are some students here, Landa, I know you're one of them, that when you read this question, the moment that you see 6 males for every 60 females, Landa, I bet you already said, oh, 6 males to 60 females, that's a times 10 relationship. Males to females times 10. So when you looked at, oh, males to females times 10, I got 11 males times 10. 110, I'm done. Is that what you did? Exactly. Landy, you've been doing this long enough to know how to do this mentally now, and it's really showing. So there it is. And so we both know this video just helped you with your test anxiety by just a little bit. And to keep lowering your test anxiety and keep raising your confidence, that's what my ASVAB All-Access Program is for. The link's right up here. Click it, watch the video on how it works, and you'll see exactly why thousands of my students have raised their scores and gotten the jobs they want. So click there, watch the video, and sign up to raise your score. I'll see you soon.